Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's so lovely to have you guys around. I have here the lovely Mr. Adesanya Adidayo. He's an IT entrepreneur here in Lagos, Nigeria, and yeah, he does a lot of youth empowerment when it comes to just IT generally, and works for an IT company and everything. And yeah, I have a few questions for him concerning entrepreneurship. And
Fingers crossed.
yeah, exactly. Fingers crossed. So let's jump right in. So, Mr. Adesanya, how is it like being an entrepreneur here in Lagos, Nigeria?
Okay, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll say it's the best kept secret ever.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me.
In the sense that the whole idea of entrepreneurship in the first place is you having a service or a product to sell to people who need the service and the product. So entrepreneurship in Africa generally is thriving a lot in the sense that there's still quite a lot of problems around here. And as an entrepreneur, your products and services will serve as solutions to these problems. So yes, you have higher demand, and at the end of the day, you are able to make more money. You're able to, be sustained and all that. Compared to in the West, where a lot of things have been handled already. A lot of things are already being automated, which is where Africa is really is getting to in the long run as well. So everything being handled, automated, most times by machines, most times by softwares. It leaves a little bit of opportunities for entrepreneurs, except you're an entrepreneur who is really smart in the automation and IT space. You'll be able to find a path for yourself. But definitely not as big as it would be in Africa.
In Africa. Yeah, I think that's also the idea of entrepreneurship, having like a problem and finding a solution to it. And I think also like Africa at large is like the breathing ground for entrepreneurship, because there are a lot of ideas that we could like millions of ideas. That's a good answer. Like, what do you see the future of entrepreneurship for Africa at large, let's say now? Because I believe that this wouldn't be the situation in 10 years' time. I think big corporations are going to kind of come up from Europe and everything. Because like you said, in the West, all this, everything is already automated. And they're looking out to expand their organizations and everything. Do you think there's still room for entrepreneurship in 10 to 20 years' time here in Nigeria?
Yeah. First things first, I want you to consider the population of Nigeria.
Okay.
I don't think there's any country clearly in Europe that has the kind of population that Nigeria has.
No, I don't think so. Aside Russia.
Aside Russia, Russia is not exactly in Europe.
That's very true.
But in the Eurozone, no country has the kind of population that Nigeria has, and that's one basic factor for entrepreneurship. As long as you have the population, then you're sure that success is guaranteed. Say for example in India, they have the population, so business will thrive. There will always be more people that will need your services because of the population. There will be healthy competition as well, and so I think there's still a big room for Nigeria to thrive, being the largest population in Africa, and more like the pace setter in Africa as well.
I think so too.
Many other African countries look up to Nigeria in certain areas. So entrepreneurship is something that has come to stay. And in my own opinion, I think that it can only be better. It will definitely grow some more once Nigeria even begins to take out some internal factors that affect entrepreneurs, maybe something like the rate of power supply and likes. So once all those things are taken out, I think that the world has a big surprise on their hands as regards what's coming out of Africa.
I think so too. I think also like Africa is just like we have this raw material and nobody is really tapping into it. We have the manpower, we have the youth, we have like the younger generation and everything. They are still thriving on it, and yeah, it's something that the world should definitely look out for. My next question is, in what area of entrepreneurship have you seen immense growth in the last few decades? Like that you've seen like Nigeria push forward and really grow and really make the economy also thrive.
Okay, so Nigerians are very good at what they do, majorly. But if we focus on the entrepreneurship side, and the few sectors that have thrived in the past decade. First, I'll say the entertainment industry, because they've really done well. There's no part of the world now that you will go to and you wouldn't hear Nigerian songs playing. I know that there was this one time myself and a friend were in a restaurant somewhere in Texas, and there were only blacks in there, and immediately we walked in with playing Nigerian songs, just to keep us comfortable. So Nigerian music industry has gone that far, and again our population did a lot towards making that grow. Another sector that I have seen great growth is the sector that I'm in, which is the IT sector. The IT sector is moving, at a tremendous pace. In the IT financial sector, in the oil sector, in the telecom sector, everywhere generally. Even all small and medium scale businesses are now beginning to use the power of IT to, complement what they do. Not to talk of the traditional marketing that they all do on social media, getting their products to be known all over, sponsoring all of that, and then leaving the regular terrestrial TV and radio where they used to do these adverts before. Those areas are reducing and everything is coming out on the IT platform. We're also seeing a lot of young people who are wanting to study IT now, and a lot of people who are already done with school and who have several years of experience, and they're also looking to switch into IT because everybody's clear now that IT is moving into every sector and might be snatching jobs.
That's very true. I think also like IT is the language of the future. Like that is because there's nothing. If you live in Europe or something, there's literally no way we don't come in contact with IT, even if it's not directly, or even if you're not aware of it indirectly. Somehow you're coming in contact, and I see it also.
In the Eurozone, if you're not IT compliant, I mean you're going to suffer a lot. Because definitely. How do you book your tickets? How do you get around? In fact, in some parts of the world, there are protests against Uber because Uber has now, one single app has, single-handedly snatched the jobs from thousands and millions of taxi drivers. And this is a company that has not one taxi. Just with their app, taking over the whole world. So I think that IT is another force to reckon with in the IT sector, in the Nigerian space.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's a good answer. My next question is, what advice would you have for someone like me? I've lived in Germany for almost 10 years now. I went to study there. Yes.
Fantastic. So how do you say entrepreneurship in German?
Oh, come on, let's leave that. That's another sector, another video, not
all right.
So like I would love to come back to Nigeria and do my own thing, and I know a few people that would also love to do that. But the thing is, if you've lived in an environment for a long time, especially when you're still young, I think when you're still, I left Nigeria when I was 19 and everything. So my mentality was still still shaping, and I've lived in this environment for 10 years. A lot of my way of thinking is shaped by this environment, and when I come here, there's a bit of frustration, there's a bit of tug of war between, I love Nigeria, I would love to come back here and everything, and I know that is something I would definitely do, but there's always this thing that is, it's just this frustration that is in the air with me, and thinking, okay, how do you do you actually start making people aware of how to do things better? Like, because I have the feeling that Nigerians are quick to settle for the norm. They don't really want to. There are a few people that I know that really want to reach out and make things better, and they impact the society in a tremendous way. But the general public, the average Nigerian, I have this, how would I say this? Yeah, I have the I think that they just want to, because
They just want the easy way.
Yeah, they just want the easy way and they don't want to do the work. The average Nigerian is not willing to do the work.
All right, I mean, that's a beautiful question, and you know, I have gotten this question from lots of countries around the world. You know, whenever I'm visiting, people are asking me this same question: how are you able to run a business and thrive in Nigeria? Would like to come back. So I'll say something. You see, for all the Nigerians abroad and Africans generally, I mean not just Nigerians, Africans generally, you know, the kind of culture that we have is different from the culture that the Western people or the Asians have. Our culture makes us know wherever in the world that we are that there is something waiting for you back at home, like a sense of belonging back at home. And nothing comes easy, nothing comes good, just smooth like that. You know, so everybody has to pay their dues. You know, even the guy who invented the electric bulb, you know, tried it hundreds and hundreds of times before it worked for him. You know, so as an entrepreneur, you know, you should look forward to failure, and you should look forward to problems, you know, and being able to overcome those problems and failure is what brings you to the end game. So as an entrepreneur, you have an eye, your eyes on the goal at the end. So if you let everything in the middle distract you, then you won't get it. You're just going to so expecting failure is one thing to look at as an entrepreneur. So as an African abroad, you don't just want to come back and have everything working smoothly for you. You have to pay your dues, and you need to know how to get back into the system, understand how the people think, and then you get to them from that point of view. When you come to their level, then you can now start trying to elevate them back on, and there's a lot of success for you there. You know, but you need to leave your comfort zone, because at the end of the day, it's not actually your zone. That's very true. Home is always home. A good example of that is when guys are playing football, you know, Arsenal, Man U, and you always hear, Arsenal is at home, they should play better, blah, blah, blah. That's because there's a blessing that God has put in every man's home soil. You know, when you come back home, the heights that you can rise to, you can't rise like that abroad. The system is put in a way that you can't pass a certain level.
Especially if you're not giving birth to them.
Exactly. I mean, if you're not there by birth, and also, you know, as regards gathering wealth as well, the system is put together in a way that, you know, the bills that come to you, even, you know,
tell me about it.
The bills that come to you is hard for you to, you know, the bills and the taxes is hard for you to go back home with with some sort of wealth that is equivalent to the amount of work that you've done. So the first step to it is coming home first.
That means to come home and connect with the people.
Come for a test. Have a test visit for like maybe 2 weeks or so. Test the ground, see how it is, go back, and then plan based on what you've seen. And then when you think you're comfortable enough, come back here. Because in Africa, people even respect the fact that you have the experience from the West. So things will be a little bit, you know, better for you than.
I also think that a lot of people that come from Europe or from America or whatever, they come with an expectation. I think also you have to have a decent level of expectation. You don't come back here and expect things handed over to you.
Handed to you on a platter of gold.
Exactly.
Because you're coming from the West.
Exactly. Because I think we could make that mistake of having this expectation, and somehow it's a two-way thing. I think you should have your expectations, but you shouldn't. If those expectations are not met, you shouldn't give up.
Yeah, so where that problem came from is the fact that, the average youthful person in Africa kind of looks up to the youthful person in the West. So when they're having these communications, there's this line of command or this high-headedness.
Yeah, like this
hierarchy, like, oh, you're talking to someone from the West. So you from the West, you now have that misconception and think that everybody in Africa would accept you like that when you come back to Africa. However, we have the elites in Africa.
Yeah,
We even have people who have just gone abroad to study alone and they've come back to develop. So we have standards here as well. You need to come back and be level-headed, and try to, even if they will respect you for quite some skills that you have, it doesn't mean that, you will be worshipped.
Yeah. No. And I think also, like, a lot of businesses that come from the West and everything that come here to establish their businesses, they come here to make profit. So for them, there's no hard thing to it.
Yeah,
there's not much, exactly. But for someone like me, if I'm coming here, I want to give everything. I want to really do something. And I think I have to come to a place where I have to say, okay, if you're going to fail a couple of times, you should definitely put in first place trying to connect, trying to understand people, trying to put yourself in their shoes and go from there. Like, I think that's the way you change the mental state. I think a lot of perspective, a lot of things has to do with perspective, the way people see things and the way they begin to see, okay, actually I deserve something better, and if I put in the work, I could actually get something better and not just settle for a good thousand day.
You couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. So my next question is
that the last one?
Yeah.
Is that the $1 million one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's
it's about politics. I think politics play a big role in the overall development of the country, and the political atmosphere of Nigeria is getting better, but it could be way better. I think it could be way ahead. But yeah, it's good. We must give kudos to that the youths are beginning to
speak up,
mobilize and say be not too young to run and everything. But what does the future of politics look like for Nigeria? Like, what
does the future of politics look like?
Is it still the same people that run the government? Or are we going to start seeing younger faces? Are we really going to start seeing the change we actually have been yearning for ever since we had democracy, so to say?
Okay, so this is a very dynamic question, and if you asked this question to 10 people, you'll most likely get 10 different answers.
Definitely.
Because people have different perspectives of how they see Nigerian polity. And to say that the Nigerian polity is actually really multi-dimensional. However, a lot of young people are speaking up now. A couple of entertainers are now encouraging people to get their voters card, because that's the only voice that you have, to make change. Personally, I see a very big wind of change coming through. Before things get better, there might be a little storm. So I think that there might be a little storm. I think that the conventional, everyday politicians are going to try to make things harder for the younger ones who are coming in. But at the end of the day, I think that if the young ones stay strong and they stay focused, they should be able to get through. I mean, I'm really happy to see the likes of Eladrote trying to step up to say that, oh, okay, enough is enough. I am totally confident in someone like that. In the sense that his age is perfect, because for me, I think that, if someone is too old, they feel like they don't have so much to live for, so they are not scared of repercussions, so if you're 80 or 75 and you rule for 4 years and you misbehave, how much more years do you have for you to be dealt with, right? they will most likely come up with an idea to say he's ill, blah 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 blah, and there will be no repercussions. So if somebody was in his 40s, for example, you know that you still have a whole lot of life ahead of you. So you don't want to spend all that life in jail or something, or people hating against you and your family. So I think that there will be a lot more caution with the younger ones to say that they will also have a lot of elderly people who can advise them, young people who still have the fear of God and they can still listen, not those that have nothing to lose. So I think that Nigeria will come of age. I think that Nigeria is one of the major key players around the globe.
If the energy is being
channeled positively.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
I think Nigeria could do way much more better.
Because I said on TV some days ago, I said, a new dance comes out of Nigeria and Nigerians get it to trend globally in a few hours.
Hey, come on.
So if we can use that type of energy rightly, so I think that the sky will be our beginning.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the polity. I'm looking forward to see what fella Drotoye would be talking about in his debates and all the people that will be contesting in his party. I am very optimistic that Nigeria will come of age.
The thing is, I'm hoping that we don't have to have a revolution like in Libya and Tunisia and everything. I hope so, but I also know that Nigerians are very, very, very fearful.
Right.
We don't do that.
I think maybe not fearful. Nigerians love life.
They love comfort.
They love comfort and they love to enjoy. So which is why it's hard to get anybody into hate speeches easily,
or even just to get them going, get out of your comfort zone.
But I think that
do something.
We will try to. I think the Nigerians will try to do something peacefully this time around.
I hope so too.
Because there's a trend going around. I mean, it's happened in Zimbabwe, where Mugabe has
in South Africa.
In South Africa, it's happened in Ethiopia. It's happened as well. So I hope that the Nigerians will join that league as well.
Of peaceful
transitioning and
transitioning.
So I think it's fantastic. So
I hope so too. That is my hope that Nigerians, especially the youth, because I think it's a large part of the population, and there's so much energy if that is channeled in the right direction. And thank you very much.
It's been fantastic
For coming here.
Thanks for having me.